Alright guys, today we are going to be reacting to the new German double-decker train that everybody hates. I don't hate them because I haven't experienced it, but a lot of people don't like it. Let's jump in.
Long-distance trains often get a lot of praise, and for good reason, with incredible comfy spacious interiors and a tasty onboard dining service. But today I'm going to be riding the controversial new Intercity 2 trains, a double-deck design that has left many passengers feeling disappointed with their journey. Today I'll show you inside this train, looking at all parts of the rather basic interior, and even explore the food and drink options. So join me as we cross southern Germany and see if this hated train is really as bad as people say. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm here in Nuremberg in Germany and I'm going to be travelling with the controversial DB Intercity 2 over to Stuttgart. I'm booked into first class on this journey, so let's see what all the fuss is about. Let's go. Good morning from Nuremberg's Regal station, the main departure point situated right in the heart of this Bavarian city. This station first opened in the 1840s, with this spectacular frontage being added in 1906. So, heading inside, we are met with a huge selection of shops, including many typical German brands such as Rewe to go. There are of course many international fast food brands dotted around the main hall as well. Down here you have the DB Reisezentrum, or ticket office in English. Here you can buy tickets for all regional operators and DB long distance trains. The station's facilities are split across multiple levels, and there's even an underground section here. Upstairs, you can find the DB Lounge for passengers travelling with first class tickets. Though as a word of warning, this is only available if you purchase the most expensive flex price tickets. And one thing you should be sure not to miss is the presence of this amazing mosaic, covering various parts of the station's walls and ceiling.
Or get to the train, there we go.
The majority of services are operated by Deutsche Bahn.
I'm more interested about the train.
The national operator of the country. This ranges from regional services, identified by this iconic red livery, to these S-Bahn commuter trains that stop at all stations. And of course, there are plenty of ICE high-speed trains connecting every corner of Germany in style. Also, a small handful of services are operated by Go Ahead, a private operator from the UK. But my train today will be one of the new Intercity 2 trains, consisting of a DB 147 electric locomotive and a rake of 5 double-deck coaches. These trains entered service from 2015, and in the years since their introduction have attracted a lot of strong criticism about their poor levels of comfort. In fact, these trains are nearly identical to the much cheaper regional double-deck trains, as shown here. A few adjustments have been made to improve comfort, but we'll soon find out whether that's good enough, or if these trains should be avoided. I'm travelling in first class today, located at the front of the train in coach 5. My reserved seat is on the top deck, with signs at the doors indicating which deck each seat is located on. First class is in a 2+1 layout, and I've reserved seat 135, a forward-facing single seat. Today's route sees us heading west from Nuremberg, for a relaxed journey through Germany's hills and the towns of Crailsheim and Aalen. Journey time is scheduled to be 2 hours and 10 minutes, covering 203 kilometers, or about 126 miles.
I have to say, man, this guy put a lot of effort in when it comes down to the trains, right? And not only that, he's very professional in his way he conducts his videos.
Our trip begins just 2 minutes behind schedule, pulling out of Nuremberg Hauptbahnhof at 09:44. We depart alongside a pair of ICE 3 units, these trains being a level above the Intercity service I am on.
Okay.
After a few minutes of parity, we diverge to head southwest towards Stuttgart.
It's not graffiti stuff, man. There's a lot of graffiti in Germany. I don't know why, but there's a lot of it.
We're out in the countryside, so let's take a look around the interior of this train. seating in first class takes the form of these dark blue leather seats. And overall, this interior looks pretty smart. These were pretty well padded and had a decent ergonomic design. Overall quite comfortable. There's even some padded fabric on the winged headrest. All seats have armrests which can fold down like so. And just beneath the seat you can find the recline lever, though the amount of recline on offer is very limited. As for legroom, it's absolutely fantastic and there's a lot of room to stretch out here. On the seat in front there's a footrest, though this was strangely off-centre compared to my seat, meaning you have to bend your legs sideways.
Oh, really? Wow.
There's also a storage net for your smaller items.
Why would you need to put your knees sideways? That makes no sense.
And a little drinks holder. And lastly, a relatively small seatback table can be found, though this does feature a bracket to enable the use of a laptop. Now whilst this interior is overall pretty decent, it is incredibly similar to DB's regional double-deck trains. Can you spot any differences? Let me know in the comments. Looking at the prices they sometimes charge, I don't think I'd be too happy if I paid any extra for this. But now on to the things that are different about the seat.
Okay.
Well, the headrest slides up a little bit and there's some carpet? I don't know, it's really not very impressive. But enough about this very regional interior for now, let's take a look back outside. After just over 20 minutes, we're pulling into the first station. The city of Ansbach was once home to the prolific German composer Johann Sebastian Bach. Similar name is
Let's go, one of the best composers ever existed.
Presumably just a coincidence. The first part of our journey is mostly spent gently weaving through the hills of Bavaria, with many picturesque views on offer.
Yo, Bavaria is pure gorgeous, man. Bavaria is just gorgeous. Gorgeous place, man.
There are also plenty of farm fields visible from the railway, no doubt many of which grow barley to make beer. After all, this is the region where Oktoberfest is held, the world's largest beer festival. Not long later, we cross into the state of Baden-Württemberg and arrive at the station of Crailsheim, where a collection of older trains can be seen sitting in a maintenance and storage facility with the station's platforms located to my left.
Yo, I would just sell those trains, man, to very poor country, man. At least they can have something. You see what I'm saying? Like, just see, there's countries that they need trains. I would just sell it.
Whilst not as fast as Germany's impressive high-speed trains, the Intercity 2 is still capable of 160 km an hour, which is generally enough, as these sets tend to run on slower routes. It's faster than this old classic car anyway. Now let's take a look at what else you can expect on this double-deck Intercity train. The lower deck of this carriage also features first-class seating, though the view from the windows isn't as good down here, so I recommend sitting upstairs if you can. But the majority of the train is second class, with a 2+2 seating layout. Whilst still pretty comfortable, this is also very similar to the regional double-deck trains. Each of these centre carriages also features a bike storage space, which can be booked for a fee of €7.50 on this route, and a little higher on longer journeys.
Oh, there has TV.
In the last carriage, you'll find the multifunction area, with storage for 6 bikes and 2 wheelchairs, though nice. I couldn't film this as the carriage was very busy. This multifunction area also features lower external doors, making boarding with bikes or wheelchairs much easier. And upstairs, there's a dedicated children's area, featuring railway-related cartoon characters and a few table seats for families.
You know what? That's a good detail right there. That's a good detail, because I know some people don't like to spend time. They don't want to have kids around. I understand. They make a lot of noise, they scream. So that's a very good detail. I like that.
These feature 2 toilets, one at each end of the carriage.
They're very good.
These modern vacuum toilets were in really good condition, which is definitely a benefit compared to the often filthy regional trains. Here you can find the disinfectant and soap dispenser both working fine. The water needed a bit of encouragement, but this was also working.
Yeah, you need a little...
Some tissues are provided.
So those kind of water, you have to wiggle it, right?
to dry your hands. We are now coming into our next stop, situated in the small town of Ellwangen, with a population of around 25,000. And check out the cool livery on one of Baden-Württemberg's regional trains. This yellow and black design is inspired by the region's coat of arms, with the iconic lion being formed of the operator's logo instead. As we continue to make our way south towards Aalen Hauptbahnhof, let's talk about the onboard catering. Now, on the older intercity trains, catering was in the form of a high-quality dining car, serving...
okay, this is real food right here, guys. This is calzone. This is like a calzone, right? This is real food right here. Damn, man, these trains are amazing.
Tasty cooked meals. And yes, they had beer in this very impressive glass. However, with these new trains, there's only a limited menu of drinks and snacks served from an airline-style trolley. I've left a menu on screen now, but it's definitely a downgrade.
Well, they had to...
These trains do have free Wi-Fi, which is certainly useful as phone signal in the German countryside is notoriously unreliable. And the speeds of this were actually excellent, even being good enough to catch up on some YouTube or stream music.
Okay.
Just next to the seat, you can find a European-style power socket. Beside this is a small personal bin, a feature I really like as it helps to keep the train tidy.
Yeah.
Of course,
and this is very important because this is where even playing, they should add this to their arsenal. Just have something where people can just simply just throw their trash. And that way you keep everything nice and clean and tight. That's very good.
One big advantage of these double-deck trains is that they have large, nearly panoramic windows. And the windows are fitted with adjustable sunblinds, but unfortunately these weren't very effective as they still let most light through. A disadvantage of long-distance double-deck trains is the cramped feeling as a result of squeezing in 2 floors of passengers. Whilst this particular model was quite spacious compared to certain others, your luggage will certainly feel the squeeze. These overhead luggage racks are tiny. There are thankfully some large luggage bays with coat hooks fitted throughout the carriage to compensate for this though. Oh, and if you look closely at the overhead luggage racks, there's an individual reading light above your seat.
They all look very similar.
Next station is Aalen Hauptbahnhof, which serves as an interchange for local stations in the area, as well as the lines to both Nördlingen and the major city of Ulm. We are now back in the countryside and speeding towards Stuttgart. I've got to say, these IC2 trains are a really smooth ride. This is a combination of the well-maintained German traxx and the heavyweight design of these double-decker carriages. By the way, this isn't the only double-deck intercity train in DB's fleet. There are also a fleet of second-hand Stadler units from Austria, and these have a totally different interior with many quirks of their own. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a video on this train. So, as we close in on Stuttgart's main station, let's talk about how much this journey costs. I pre-booked about 2 weeks before my journey, which typically costs around €27.90, though I also reserved a seat for an additional €5.90, totaling €33.80. Whilst this seems like pretty decent value, if you already have a ticket for regional trains, such as the Deutschland ticket, then there's little point in paying for this intercity train, as regional trains operate on this route with broadly the same journey times and similar levels of onboard comfort. This intercity 2 train is clearly not up to the usual high standards of Germany's long-distance intercity trains.
Wow, really?
But maybe that's okay. These trains are to be used on secondary intercity routes. And
so it's there for not to be the primary train, but just in case.
Many destinations that never had a long-distance service before.
Yeah, exactly.
Other routes will be upgraded to ICE trains, which offer an even better onboard experience than the old intercity trains did. We eventually pull into Stuttgart Hauptbahnhof at 12:01, running 9 minutes late.
Damn, Damn.
Overall, I thought the Intercity 2 was a fairly pleasant train to spend a few hours on, despite its reputation as a regional train with carpet. For secondary long-distance routes, they're not too bad, though still, compared to the old Intercity trains, they are
There we go. I mean, personally, maybe because I'm an American and our train sucks badly. I think that's a nice train, man. Personally, I think it looks great. It just, again, it might be my American thing. Like, we don't have good trains. I've never been in the Amtrak. So, even the ones they have in New York City, they have some trains in New York City that go upstate New York. Yeah, but they're not like this, guys. Not even close. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion. I will see you in the next one.